Problem nou man gome, peyi na pe trene, pou mize nou konen. Nou prête perdu l'espoir, que n'a soute nou fè noir, rive refaire l'histoire. C'est vrai de manifester, nous goumer, nous gréver, oye pas j'en marcher. Au lieu de réaliser, ou bien de river avancer, c'est tchoulé, nous tchoulé. Sous moun nous t'a compté, c'est de yo nous tromper. Au lieu pour yo aider, nous battions l'autre pays, c'est l'argent yo vient jouir. Yo acheté belle auto, volé même Jacques Claudio. Mais à cette différence, yon discours militant.
Joe, baby, I do not want to be you right now. Okay? I really don't. And especially with everything that happened in Afghanistan over the last 3 to 4 weeks, hell no. Oh, and for those of y'all who do not know what happened, let me give y'all a brief gloss over, okay? Biden decided to, finish the evacuation of troops from Afghanistan after 20 years of the U.S. fighting a war over there. And during the evacuation, the Taliban, a terrorist organization, took over the government in Kabul. And ever since then, all hell has broken loose, okay? With women literally hiding and fighting for their lives, everybody and their mama trying to leave or still trying to leave and evacuate the country to seek asylum elsewhere, with people literally running towards an Air Force jet flying out of the nation and hanging on for dear life. When I'm telling you, I have never seen nothing like it. It looked crazy, okay? I mean, it's not the first time I've seen people running towards a goddamn helicopter, but usually that was when they were coming in, not necessarily as they were leaving out. And then on top of that, you had some people literally falling off and losing their life. It was just crazy. And the evacuation process has just turned into a shit show then and now, since it is still going on. As of today, September 14th, as I am recording this episode, okay? And just a couple, if not, I want to say about roughly a week or 2 weeks ago, a suicide bomber blew up himself at the airport, killing 13 U.S. troops. And child, all that foolishness is just follow from abroad. Now, if you want to add everything else going on domestically, from race relations, coronavirus, the economy, this, that, and the third, child, Biden. You can have it, you can have it, you can have it, 'cause I don't want it. Because it's not the job for me. Thank you, Sister Nita Simone, High Priestess of Soul. We missed you. But we are not here to talk about the job of being President of the United States, aka leader of the free world. No. Instead, we are here to talk about being a leader, or leadership in general, which, given everything's going on, really needs to come into question. And with that being said, let's talk about this, shall we? Now, who exactly is in charge? Who is running things? Who wears the pants? Who is the HBIC? Yeah, I don't know, okay? Nor really care, to be quite honest, okay? Especially when it comes to me and voting. I don't know. I've always just went with the one which just made more sense, or one that's just been more convenient. I can admit that. I've been a complacent voter. I can admit that, all right? But all that, it really is difficult because, defining a leader is actually a lot more complicated than it seems, with as many definitions and interpretations as they are. But a general definition of a leader is someone who leads and has a commanding authority and or influence, okay? Now, what makes a good leader? Who knows? What makes a bad one? Well, let's look at some qualities. There is integrity, also known as doing the right thing in every single aspect. Communication, empathy, courage, respect, Agility, or, knowing what to do even when you don't know what to do. Delegation, and the list goes on and on and on and on. But out of all these characteristics, only 4 matter in every single situation. And that is integrity, communication, empathy, and of course, there is one that I did not exactly mention, but I think matters most of all, which is taking accountability. Now, the last characteristic is the main reason why me personally, I will never take on a leadership role. That, and of course, I ain't nobody's mother, I ain't nobody's manager, and you will not be putting the blame on me for what the hell other people decide to do. Hell no. Okay? No, I'm not getting blamed for that shit. Fuck that. And for a lot of people, taking accountability is not easy at all, especially when shit hits the fan. Or things go extremely left and questions, backlash, and of course fallout follow suit. But despite that, the role of a leader is something everybody wants to take on. Mostly because they don't want nobody else telling them what to do, how to do things, or when they're supposed to do it. Just wow. Everybody thinks they know best. My idea is better than yours. I got all the answers, this and the third. But you know what? I think Kanye West, in this aspect, he definitely had a point. Okay? You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers. I've been doing this longer than you. Papi, existe su muela. Pulls on back. Please. Oh, too much. And now that I think about it, I think that moment was definitely meant for Biden to say to Trump during the debates. Why he never jumped on it? Oh, no. But I will say this. Yes, Joe may have had some missteps so far. Debatable, and he definitely is giving people, a reason to have buyer's remorse. But I can say this, at least Biden owns up and takes responsibility for everything he has done and will do. Unlike the Cheeto, who has said, and I quote, "I don't take responsibility for anything." Goodness, what a quote-unquote leader he was. Oh, and how can I forget the unspoken quality of a leader? He has to be a man. Now, I don't know who the hell came up with that imaginary characteristic and why, but according to some men, or according to somebody, men are supposed to take the lead and women are supposed to follow, from relationships to political office and heads of companies and businesses. Now, to be completely honest, I find that complete and utter bullshit, okay? Mostly because men have not done much with the power and quote-unquote leading positions in the world. Just look at most of them today, getting either convicted, put in jail, or being subject to all kinds of protests around the world. I don't know what the hell men are doing with their alleged power and their alleged status. I really don't. Okay? And also, men often get led astray from their morality and ethical positions in their pursuit of, money, power, and the glory. Thank you, Sister Lana Del Rey, for that one. But, for me, women can see things through many different perspectives, and they have courage, empathy, and strength in numbers, all right? Especially with everything everyone throws at them when they try to go for the quote-unquote leading roles. But some people don't mind taking a backseat and letting someone else command and take the reins. Sometimes it's because they don't know what they can contribute. Other times, they don't want the stress, pressure, and or burden of being in charge of others or having to make decisions that affects everyone involved. And of course, in other times, people just know their role, position, place, and play it very well. And, what's wrong with a little bit of dominance every now and again? I mean, some force, some handcuffs, maybe and of course, yes, sir. Yes, Daddy. Yes. I'm such a hoe, and I am a mess, honey. But again, you should know I'm keeping it real. But with all that being said, it all comes down to this: being a leader, or a good leader, I should say, is someone who could see how things can be improved and who can rally people to move towards that better vision. And also can work towards making that vision a reality while putting people first. Okay? But being a leader has no specific destination, nor gender, age, race, and or specific relative qualifications. Okay? Look at Sister Greta Thunberg, a young Swedish activist taking on the world and leading the way for immediate change and action regarding climate change. Or Malala Yousafzai, a Pakistani activist who was shot in the head for fighting for women's education. Wow, talk about really being the rage of I did it first. Whether she got shot before Sister Gabby get first, who knows? But then again, that was just for gun reform. But whatever, same principle, okay? And now she has a Nobel Peace Prize, and now she's over here still leading the way for women's education in the Middle East. You better go, girl. Or pretty much all around the world. And of course, we have to talk about Sister Rosa Parks for just a simple act of refusing to give up her seat on a bus during segregation times in the U.S. Okay? These three people, or I should say these three women, led and paved the way in their respective fields, not because someone was giving them a title. God, no. All they did was make decisions with courage, took responsibility for their actions, and continued to, come hell or high water, do what they had to do to make a difference. And that's what a leader is. Period.
Si nous les affaires changent, mais dans mon tout